To illustrate this, I want Gary to come on up. I met Gary a number of years ago. I've known him probably almost 7, 8 years, but I really didn't get to know Gary really in a deep way until just probably the last couple months at Living Free, which is the recovery program we're doing. Gary, you shared there that for 40 years you've struggled with something, not here in the last few years, but for 40 years there was a struggle in your life, and only Emmanuel helped you with it. What was it?
Well, for almost 40 years, well, I'm still an alcoholic, but for 40 years I was a pretty heavy drinker. And it started pretty young in my life. I was probably about 13 or 14 when I first started drinking. But of course, you know, it wasn't an everyday thing then, but, you know, as addiction goes along, the longer you do it, the worse it becomes. And, you know, I'd say in the last 25 years or so, I'd be lucky if I was sober a day in my life. And that's, you know, that's pretty sad. And then, my daughter brought me here on Friendship Day back in 2002. And I heard Pastor Paul speak a sermon on, like I said, I believe it was the prodigal son or something like that. Anyway, you know, it got me thinking about things. Of course, it didn't stop my addiction or nothing like that. You know, I kept on drinking. But, you know, it got my mind working a little bit, thinking about, you know, about what Jesus Christ has done for us and, you know, how life could be, maybe could be. But, you know, of course, when you got an addiction, you don't think about that so much about that as you do your own needs and you know, what you think is right for you, which is getting drunk every day or doing whatever addiction you may be involved in. Well, in 2004, I got myself in a little bit of trouble. So they sent me to jail. And when they lock that door, brother, you're on your own then. There's no friends in there. So the only friend you got is the friend who wants something from you. And it's a price that most of us can't pay. And I certainly didn't want to pay what the price they were asking for. And like I said, I was alcoholic for almost 40 years. And when you get locked up and you're not getting your fix anymore, you're hurting a little bit. You know, and you got a little time to think. And I was thinking, well, you know, I'm hurting real bad here. And there ain't nobody in here that's going to help me. You know, that's it. No one in here is helping me. And I remember what Pastor Paul said. You ask Jesus Christ to help you, and he'll help you. If you open your heart and you ask Jesus Christ to help you, he'll help you. Like I said, I was in a pretty bad withdrawal there. And, you know, I didn't ask for a whole day. They just give me 1 hour's relief. 1 hour's relief. And I opened my heart to Jesus because I was hurting. And that's when you know, and it's a real shame. You really got to fall to that far down, hit rock bottom. But just knowing that there is someone that will help you and does help you like he helped me. Like I said, it was just an hour at a time. And then just like my addiction, because I'm addicted now to Jesus Christ, but just like my addiction, the more I use, the better it gets. And brothers and sisters, there's nothing better than what it is today. And like I said, I got in some trouble. This is my first Christmas home in 8 years. God, hallelujah. And it's the best Christmas I've had in probably 40 years or more. Thank you.
And you know, we're with you, Gary. You know, Emmanuel, God with you. If you didn't have God in your life, you wouldn't have been able to overcome alcohol.
Well, no, you know what? You know, I wouldn't be able to. You know what? I'd have probably committed suicide. I really would, because there's people in, like I said, I was locked up for 5 years. I've seen numerous people commit suicide in prison. It's unreal because they don't know where to go. Yeah. You know, thankfully that I got a little message.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Gary, for sharing. Would you tell him we're with him as well? Thank you, Gary. Thank you.